Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa bihi nasta'in. The floor is open. If anybody has any questions, you can just raise your hand. Anybody has any questions? The floor is open. Yes, brother. Now.
Recently we see on the TV Muslim brothers committing suicide. Is that really martyrdom? Your opinion?
Okay, this is a question that is now on the level of iftar, of the muftis. And there's two major opinions about this at this point in time. The asl, the basis for Muslims is that we don't commit suicide, we don't kill ourselves. That is the basis. And it is reported that there was a person who was in a battle and he died. And the Prophet ﷺ said, he's in the fire. And so nobody knew why he said that. But then when they described how he died, he had a spear in him and he killed himself. Right? So that is suicide, or is intihar. So some of the scholars are taking that position, that there's no possible way. Other scholars in Philistine and other places have taken the position that in this case it's not suicide, because the person doesn't intend to kill themselves, and it's like jumping in battle. Like some people would jump into battle and they would fight, and then they knew they were going to die, but their intention is not to kill themselves. So as long as they're not killing non-combatants, you're not supposed to kill people who are not fighting. But in the case of Palestine, it has become darura. It has become necessity. وَالضُّرُورَاتُ تُبِيحُ الْمَحْظُورَاتِ. And necessity makes permissible what is not normally permissible. So because of this, the scholars there have said that the intention is totally different, and this is a special situation, and they have permitted this thing. But that is the job of, I'm not a mufti, that's the job of the mufti, and they have made this decision there, and they've decided that it is permissible. Allahu Alam. Allah knows best. We only ask Allah to accept, a person, whatever a person's intention is. May Allah accept their intentions, man. May Allah accept their intentions. Any other questions? Yes, brother.
How do you think you'll recognize your leader?
Excuse me?
How do you think you'll recognize your leader?
Good question. The leader, in what sense do you mean the leader? Okay, there's leadership on different levels. You're talking about the Khalifa of the Muslim world? Okay, well... Okay, there are signs, there are hadith that point to the fact that there would be a person who would become, his name is the Mahdi. He's called the Mahdi. And his name is Muhammad, his father's name is Abdullah, and his mother's name is Amina, and his hairline is high, his forehead, and his nose is angular, and he's from the family of the Prophet ﷺ. And he will appear in between the Yemeni corner and the black stone. When the earth is filled with injustice, he will appear. وَيُصْلِحُهُ اللَّهُ فِي لَيْلَةٍ. In one hadith it said Allah would bring him together in one night. So the signs are general signs, and some people have claimed to be the Mahdi, but they weren't the Mahdi. There were people, one of the Khalifas in the Abbasid times called himself Al-Mahdi. In the Sudan, Muhammad Ahmed, who fought against the British, he also claimed to be the Mahdi, but he died. He was going to Mecca and everything, and he got typhoid fever and he dropped dead. So he's not the Mahdi. In 1979, there was somebody who took over the Haram, a group of Shabab, youth. They took over the Haram, and they said their leader was the Mahdi, but he wasn't. So Allah knows best, but this person will come. One of the signs is that an army would come from the north and to attack him. And as it goes through Hijaz, right, coming from north in, the earth would swallow it up. So in 1979, when this person, whose name was Muhammad Abdullah, by the way, and he was from the Ashraf, and he was in there, and the strategic forces were coming from Tabuk, that's in the north. So everybody was waiting to see if they were swallowed up, that's him. But they weren't. And they made a terrible mistake. And so the problem is we cannot fill in the signs ourselves. We have to have patience to wait for this person to come. But Allah will give him authority. And it will be clear in terms of his leadership. We always got to look for his piety, his practice of Islam, and then these signs. There's a number of hadiths where you can see the details about him. Okay? But inshallah he will lead an army then from Mecca north through Medina, and then up into Philistine area and Blad al-Sham, up into there. So this is how the signs basically lead into. Allahu Alam. Many people have claimed Mahdi. We used to have one every 2 months in New York City. Everybody claimed it, man. Mujaddids and Mahdis and all kinds of people, man. He's there. But no. Any other questions anybody has? Yes, brother.
We love you in Allah.
Allah yubarak fik.
It's a comment, just for accuracy purposes. Actually, the hadith that you mentioned about the Sahabi who Prophet ﷺ has confirmed 3 times that he's going to Jannah. The Sahabi who was involved was Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As. He was not Amr ibn al-As.
Okay, shukra. Jazakallah. Jazakallah khair.
The other thing is that on Mu'tasim, when that lady asked for his help and he threatened that the enemy, actually they did not release the woman. He had to go and fight for her, and he opened Amuriya, which is a town in the Anatolia.
Okay.
He opened it, he conquered Amuriya for that lady. Actually there was a big fight in Amuriya. And the other thing is that there is a hadith sahih from Prophet ﷺ about the children and the non-combatants. Actually Sahaba had asked Prophet ﷺ, they said, in our battles we go to the battle and under our forces and with our weapons there will be sometimes women and children of the people that we are attacking die. What is our position in this? He said in an open way, he said أطفال المشركين منهم. That is in battle time. When there is kids and women, they are considered as part of the mushrikeen. The same thing, because in the battle time, you cannot make this, and Prophet ﷺ knew this very well, and anybody who had fought a battle knows that very well. In the battle time, you cannot just stop from shooting because there is a kid or something, because actually the mushriks are shooting you all. So you fight as they fight. And that's the way that you can defend your people, your kids and your children, if you done as they do. But if you don't do like they do, you will lose the battle. And that's why Prophet ﷺ said in an open way, explicit way, that the children of the mushriks are part of them in the battle.
Yeah. Jazakallah khair. What I'm saying though is that the intention is not to kill them. The intention should not be to kill them. If it happens, it happens. But there are different, sayings when he sent out the Sahaba to battle, that the intention is not to kill them, but if it happens, it does happen. Any other verbal questions or comments anybody has?
Yes.
Go ahead. Yes, brother. Alaikum salam.
As you know, brother, we can travel as a Jewish everywhere. What advice for us, how we deal with the Jewish in this community? And because there's some brother, they have some idea, says they can become Muslim.
Yeah.
And Allah says, لا ترد عنك اليهود ولا النصارى حتى تتبعوا ملتهم. What we can say for some brother, say the Jews is our brother, we can talk to them, blah blah blah. How we can advise them or advise us?